Okay, guys, what's up? This your girl Queen G of Queen G Live Experience. Oh my goodness, today's show is going to be powerful and amazing. Listen, y'all know I always got a word or a nugget that I want to put out there for encouragement's sake. So listen, y'all, we have about 23, 24 days left in the year. I want y'all to finish this year strong. Go in, evaluate where you were this year in 2020, and begin the process of new beginnings for the following year. Don't wait till it hits, but start now. You know what I mean? Let go of all the hurt, the pain, forgive yourself, set yourself up for greatness, whatever that is, whatever you have to come to for the next year. Let's do that. Let's finish 2020 strong. Seriously. That's been my message, y'all. So without any further ado, I want to jump right in because I don't want to miss no time with this guy. Okay. This is my Colgate brother, I'll call him, because we both share the whole beautiful smile thing. You know what I mean? He's just an amazing person. Let's start with that. He's an amazing person, period. Okay. If you were to ever meet him, you would understand what I'm saying. His aura is amazing. Okay. He is a very, very, very well-known actor. Okay. And you've seen him on the hit show Greenleaf. And other things. He's been on series, he's been on shows. He also is a playwright actor. What I mean by that is on stage, he does theater, he sings. Okay, so we're going to talk to him a little bit about that, his journey, how it all began, what has happened, how he handles COVID, all of that. We want to get deep in his business, okay? This is that authentic podcast. And I got to bring them to you. Since we can't touch each other. So without any further ado, I want to welcome actor on series Greenleaf to the show, Mr. Parnell. Let's
dun, dun, dun.
Here. Let's get him in here.
What you doing?
I don't know what this is doing. Okay, there we go. I was like, what is going on?
I'm like, technical difficulties. Come on, Shantae.
Right. What is going on? How you doing, Parnell?
I am doing good, Colgate sis. So good to see. Look, we both just cheesing, just all 30.
I know. Like, this is what happens to us every time I see you. It's like.
Right. Exactly. Well,
let's start with that.
Yes.
Do people tell you have a beautiful smile, or you should do like a Colgate commercial?
All my life, both my sister and I both grown up, because I blame it on all the cereal that we used to eat as kids.
The cereal,
all that milk going in gave it. So, did you ever wear braces? I'm like, no. These are the ones I was born with. I think I remember a quote that Farrah Fawcett had said years ago. It's like, well, so I think God either gives you, pretty perfect teeth with a bunch of cavities, teeth that are perfect.
Right.
So I got a few feelings in here back in the.
Right. I'm like, ooh, y'all don't know what's going on the inside of this, right? But we keeps it pretty right here. I keep it, functioning on the outside.
You know what? You know what happened? It was a few years ago. Wow. God, how long ago was that now? It was over a decade ago now. I was eating a peanut M&M and broke this here. And I was like sitting there, and it didn't hurt, but it was like,
right.
Not the pearlies.
Right. We can't mess with the pearlies. We got to keep them right. Okay. We got to keep them right. Yeah, I get that too. The whole, you should do a Colgate commercial, and I get, mine is from my mom. Like when she was younger, she had beautiful teeth, and all of her kids have that. Mm-hmm. All of her kids.
Yeah.
My brother is Tyrese, and he got that same.
Mm-hmm. I was just about to say, I was like, yeah, Tyrese got that, just like.
He got that same. That's how they know it's real. Okay, that's how they know it's the truth. They be like, okay. Yeah.
No, this here is all natural.
Right. How are you? How have you been, Parnell?
We all know it's been a rough year. It has been a rough year.
Mm-hmm.
You know, be, between all, the Black Lives Matter protests, with COVID,
Right.
with the clown in the White House, um,
Right.
all this stuff. It's everything. When you're an actor or singer or entertainer, and everything you do gets shut down,
Right. Ooh.
you want the panic mode a little bit. It's like, thank God, that I had worked enough, that I had some money saved, and that I qualified for unemployment benefits to get
Good for you through
period.
COVID.
Yeah, because it was like, no TV, no movies, no commercials, no concerts. Everything I did got shut down.
Everything, because you sing too. You
Mm-hmm.
sing as well. You're not just an actor.
Right.
You also sang.
I sang.
Yes.
I was laughing when you're trying to get me onto this show. I'm like, push the button. Push the You gotta push it if you want to get in.
Yeah, you writing songs, and I'm sure that creative energy is just dying to get out too.
Oh,
So
it,
everything is,
yeah,
over
everything.
calculated right now.
Right. Well, I'm a musical theater kid. That is what my initial foray into show business was singing and doing musical theater, before I ever did any film or TV stuff. So that's my heart. People are always like, what do you like better?
Right.
I love to work. So it doesn't matter what genre it is, but I love the immediacy of theater. You can tell, right?
Immediacy, Parnell. Did you
Yeah,
say that?
I went to college.
I was like, hold on. I wouldn't normally stop you on that, but I had to just.
I do.
I'm sorry.
Because I think my first professional entertaining gig I ever did was a show called Stacks of Wax at Ely's Gardens,
Oh,
and I was 19, and it was like a 50s and 60s musical review show, and you love it because right then and there that the audience is enjoying what's happening,
right.
happen with the music, or they're bopping in their seats. When you do film or television or whatever, you may not know for months or sometimes even a year what the reaction is to people, because it's just like been sitting and
Oh, that's right.
so you're like
That's
going,
right.
I got a movie coming out when? Well, sometime next year. I don't know.
Right. Although social media has kind of made that a little easier,
Yeah.
to get instant responses, or your fan bases, can kind of reach you now, or
Yes.
it's a little easier, but still, I understand what you're saying. Because
Yeah.
the thing is, some of these shows, podcasts, events, some of that stuff airs later. You may have
Yeah.
filmed it then, and then it airs like much later. So
Yeah.
it's kind of like some stuff is in pre-production and after production, and it's a process.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. And I love that we have all these options now. It's a great thing because before, the studios and the networks controlled everything, and
Right.
it now that we have all these different venues, actors don't have to wait for somebody to make something happen. And I really need to step up my game with that, because I see all these people who are, constantly they're singing, they have these little videos of them singing, here. And I'm like, I need to do that more often, just grab some tracks and like, all right, I'm gonna sing such and such for y'all
Well,
today.
you trying to collect yourself, really, honestly. So don't beat yourself about that. You
Yeah,
trying to collect yourself from 2020, like we all are.
right.
And we had to figure out kind of like a whole new way to even navigate in
Yeah.
to this industry or whatever, or figure out what to do, like something basic, like figuring out what to do. When I see real entertainers that I've grown up watching that I know make a lot of money, and they on there singing and entertaining with a Cash App information
Mhm.
on the screen, it's
Mhm. Yeah.
it's hard.
Yeah.
It's
'Cause,
tough for
yeah,
anybody right now.
you got to keep it.
And this is why I created this podcast, because whatever I can do to help us keep things alive and vital, it's like that's my job right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? it doesn't matter what level you on. So like if people knew you, they know that you are a real person. You know what I'm saying? I know that. I know that about you. And you know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter the celebrity or what you've been on or been a part of. Life is life, and it hits the same way.
Oh yeah.
As a human being.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So I want to go back to this because you brought this up. When you first got into the industry and did your first big show, you said you were 19 or something like that, right? What did that feel like? What did that feel like? What was the gratification from that moment?
You know, it was because I'd done some, you know, theater in high school and college, but getting that first paid gig was kind of like, oh yeah, I'm home. This is it. It's just that thing of doing what you love and getting paid for it.
And getting paid for it, having a paycheck at the end of it. Whoa.
You know, and it was just kind of a sense of independence because I didn't have to ask anybody for money. You know, Mom, can I get money for this? Can I get money for this? Like, no, I was making my own coin. And so nobody can tell you what to do with money that you make.
Right, exactly.
Thing about it is like, when I made this money, you can't tell me how to spend it because I made it. I'm the one who got up.
Right.
You know,
and we learn how to, as entertainers too, over time, you learn how to kind of discipline yourself. You're not really prone to spend what you make so quickly because you don't know when the next gig is going to kind of kick in. And it's this never-ending cycle in the entertainment business of, you know, waiting on the next opportunity to kick in so you can do this and that. And thank God for visible projects because that kind of opens other doors for other things. You know what I mean? Oh, yeah. So where did you go from there? 19, you got your first paid gig.
Yeah.
Where did you go from there?
Well, it was kind of, that was my summer job because I, you know, during the year, of course, I was in school. And then the next summer, you know, I would do the show. And then finally, and then when I graduated, I moved to LA. And this is what I tell people. It's like, never do it the way I did it ever.
What was the mistake you made? Tell us. We gotta hear the real authentic story. Like, tell us.
It was really, again, at 19, not really having the financial education that I think we all need, that they really need to make that part of schooling. It's like teach kids about money early. Because so many of us have to catch up later in life. Had I known then what I know now, I moved to LA from Denver with $1,000, thinking I was, that's gonna last. Had no idea how expensive it was to live. You know, how long it was gonna take for me to find a steady job, much less a steady place to live. You know,
that too.
It was just like I was sleeping on this couch and staying on this and house it. And, you know, and then finally got my first job, you know, as a special needs operator for AT&T for the hearing impaired.
Look at you.
Yeah. And then I was on the game show, what, Scrabble? Yes, with Chuck Woolery, and I won $8,500.
Okay.
Yeah, and that was really how it got me into my first apartment, and my first car was the winnings from that show. Which, again, speaking of taping something and waiting, I shot it like 6 months or so before the episode aired, before I could get that check. You know, so I'm just sitting there like,
wow,
it's coming, but it's not coming for 6 months.
And when they say starving artists, they mean it.
Yes. Yeah.
It's serious. Yeah. That is, it's a journey. The whole thing is a journey. And through it all, it's like you got to believe in yourself too. You got to believe that you can do it. You got to deal with rejection of some of the doors closing because they don't know that you're, you know, a great actor or a great singer and that you qualify. They don't know that yet. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And it was a learning lesson. Also, so anybody who's moving to follow your career goal, save up your money.
Save your bread. You know, and it's worse now. It's even more expensive in LA.
Yes. And that's the thing about financial literacy. Like, You know, they tell you like you should have at least 6 months worth of expense, your whatever, your rent, car
Right.
stuff saved.
Right.
So in case anything goes down, you're not in you know you don't have to panic for at least 3 or 4 months. You know, when you start getting
Right.
the last 2 months, that's when you're like, something's gonna happen.
Yeah, we gotta do this. We gotta
Yeah,
get this together.
yeah. And I learned
Right. Oh,
about,
yeah. That's
about
smart.
yeah, paying the rent ahead of time. You know, like, oh, I don't know what's going to happen. I'm like, well, here's what's going to. I can tell you what is going to happen if you don't take care of it in advance. You're going to spend that money, and then when you get to needing, you're like, oh, I don't have it.
Yeah.
So if you have
Because
enough,
most renters from anywhere or whatever,
yeah,
they take advance payments on your property. They do.
exactly. Ain't
You
nobody
can
going to
pay
be like,
certain utilities too, like
right,
cell phones
right.
in advance.
I don't know a landlord who's going to say, oh no, you can't pay me 3 months or 4 months rent in advance. They're like, cool,
Right.
because I got you pay me that much money, I will take it. I would love to be at a point where I could, say, okay, here's 6 months rent. Don't bother me until
6 months and you go get there. You're gonna get there with your talent, with your skill level, all of that stuff. That role is waiting on you.
thank you.
You know what I'm saying? And I don't know. It's all about what we believe, and you know that.
Yes.
You didn't believe yourself on the own network, brother.
Mhm. Oh, yeah, that experience. Yes.
Oh my God. So we gotta ask that.
Yes.
We gotta ask about your role. Tell us what the character is on Network's Greenleaf, which is one of my favorite shows, by the way. Tell us what the character is and
Yeah.
describe that and how you got that role. I want to know that too.
Okay. My character was Carlton Cruz, who is the new choir director that comes in, and it was so interesting because when I got the audition notice from my agent, it was like he was described as an openly gay man, who was the choir director, comes in. I'm like, okay. And I didn't know. I was like, okay, what's openly gay mean? Does that mean that he just has people, or is it like, hey girl, what's happening? What kind of gay are we talking?
Right. Like
there's levels to this.
What am I supposed to put into this character?
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I found what I called it. I found the gayest outfit that I had in my closet. So I had this kind of it's kind of a see-through zebra stripe shirt, and some like, okay, I'm giving you some fabulousness, but not giving you too much. Where it's like,
right.
Okay. And I went into the audition. It was one thing where the audition was on a Monday, and it was a real fast turnaround. So they're like, okay, the audition's on Monday, and then if you book the role, you're flying out on Wednesday to Atlanta to shoot.
Wow.
And I was like, okay, all right. So I got in there Monday, and ran into a friend of mine was there auditioning as well. And it's like, hey, you know how to do that every now and then. You cross paths with other actor friends. And
yeah.
Then Tuesday I got the call that, hey, well, you're pinned for the role, and stay tuned, and we'll call Wednesday to let you know if you need to fly out. I'm like, okay.
And I know your nerves is bad in between that.
It was funny because it was a busy week. I had like 3 auditions that week. It was like bam, bam, bam. I'm like, yeah, come on, hey.
Oh my God. That was a little bit of a confidence boost time. Like, yeah, I got something.
Because sometimes it's feast or famine. There are times where
right.
I ain't had an audition all month or 2 months. And then bam, bam, bam. So Wednesday I was on my way to the gym, and I get a call, and I look and I see my agent's number, and I'm like, are you calling to tell me that I'm going to be on a plane later today? And she's like, yes, I am. I'm like, yes.
So let me ask you this. What do you think got you the role? Like, what did you do in there in the audition that got you the role?
I think it was the zebra striped shirt.
So y'all pay attention to this. There are different strategies to land a role, and for him it was the patterns. Okay, it was the pattern.
It was it was one of those things where I think I just fit who Carlton is.
What we're looking for, yeah.
A part of me, I think I sang because that was part of the audition. Is you do the scene, and then they wanted because Carlton was going to sing on the show,
right?
Sing. So I sang, and I sang "Come Sunday," and I sang it the way Jennifer Holliday's version. That's the only one I'd ever heard, and so I sang the song, and I guess they like.
What does that sound like? What is "Come Sunday"? Like, give us, if you can, give us a little bit of it. Look, you said I gotta drink my tea. Hold on a second. you knew I was gonna call you on the spot, right? You knew that.
Yeah. Okay. Here we go. Lord, dear Lord of love, God Almighty, God above, please look down and see my people through. That was it.
No, and I'm asking these questions because there are a lot of actors watching right now and tuning in. So I just want them to hear, a real situation and what it took to like land this role and just kind of inspire them, based on your journey, that landed you a really, really, really serious role on this series. How many seasons did you do?
5 seasons. Yeah, it was 5 seasons. Yeah. Well, technically there were 4 seasons because there was the 3rd season. There were some episodes I was supposed to do. I was supposed to do 3 episodes, and then the storyline changed, and it was so frustrating because you get a call like, "Hey, Parnell, we just calling your availability for this week. We want to shoot on Wednesday." I'm like, "Yeah, cool, let's do it." Then Tuesday, hey, sorry, they rewrote the scene. Sorry, you're released. I'm like, then
right.
That happens, and it's
because you're ready. You're fired up, ready to kind of like take this on, like.
But I just say I'm out. But the only appearance Carlton made in season 3 was my name being mentioned.
All right.
Hey, I'm in there. I'm in this. I'm not gone from the show. So I'm like, I just say I did all 5 seasons of the show, and like,
right. You have to include yourself in that.
Yeah.
And that's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, I saw when you kind of got introduced in. I remember that episode. That was kind of cool. Yeah. And you got introduced as the choir director, and it was the dynamic between you and the I don't know her name, the character.
Charity, yeah.
Yes. She was fire. I love the show. Period. Like it has a different angle of drama. From a different standpoint, the corruption in the church.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And I was a part of a ministry when I was younger, like working in the ministry as treasurer, and I had the position of choir director too for the children. I was over the children's church. So I kind of would hear things behind the scenes that were happening that no one else knew. And you kind of had to keep that stuff in confidentiality, and like you couldn't tell the church, the saints,
right,
what was really happening. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I just thought the idea was brilliant, and look at all the amazing actors.
Yes.
That were on there. Did you meet Oprah? At any point?
I did. I met her at the season 1 rap party. That was like amazing because I'm like, oh yeah, there's a rap party. Because I had shot my last episode for that season, so I was wrapped, and they're like, oh, you're gonna be able to come to the rap party. I said, listen, I have friends that I can stay with because production don't want to have to pay for you any longer than they have to. So,
right. We only taking it so far, and then you won't go on. Right.
So I knew they did. They weren't going to want to pay for the hotel. But I'm like, I tell you what, I have friends I can stay with, and we'll do that, and I'll get to the rap party. So made that happen. Got to the rap party, and I met Craig Wright, who's the creator and executive producer with Oprah. And it was so funny because I didn't know who he was, and
Right.
I walked in and I see this guy, and this white guy jumps up and he said, "Hey, Parnell!" And I'm like, "Hi." He says, "Yeah."
He
Hey,
knew you.
he knew
He
me.
knew your work.
Right. He said, "Hey, I'm Craig." And I'm like, "Okay, hi, Craig." And
Right?
I went over and I was talking to Lamont Rucker, and he's like, "Did you see Craig?" And I said, "Yeah, Craig who?" Said Craig Wright, the creator. I'm like, "Oh, he just said, I had
Then
no
you
idea."
understood his position and
Right.
all of that, right?
So I went over and I got a chance to talk with him. I was like, "Craig, thank you so much for letting me bring Carlton to life." And he was like, "Well, thank you for doing such a great job of bringing him,"
Right.
which is like, "Thank you." And
And he knew your work. I really
yeah,
believe like they are behind the scenes and they're in these strategic positions,
right.
but
And they watch the
he didn't
daily.
really know you, but he knew you for
Right. He
your
knew
work.
work exactly. And so Oprah was speaking, and I'm standing there like, and going, "Does she know who I am? Does she know that?" Like, because I know she was probably like, "This little boy over here just looking at me all crazy." Oprah, it's Oprah. I have wanted to meet Oprah for 30 years.
Forever. Like, yeah.
And so I'm just like,
Yeah.
I'm getting my picture with Oprah. I don't care what else happens. People are jockeying for position to try to get up there. And I was like rooted to that spot. I'm like, y'all
Right.
moving. I am not moving.
This is a dream come true moment. We gonna make this happen.
And so I got up and I was like, "Oh, Miss Winfrey, it's such an honor to meet you finally." I said, "Can I get a picture?" And she's like, "Oh, yes, of course, of course." She put her arm, she's like, "Great, good job, good job."
Aww.
Oprah hugged me. And, and I was trying to get my,
yeah.
Yeah.
I met Oprah too, and whoa, she is so sweet.
She really
Like,
was very kind.
if you meet her, she's a sweetheart, like for real.
Yeah.
And she's humble. She's very humble.
For all, billionaire.
Right.
But
And what did you say to her? What did you say to her? I know what she said to you, but what did you say to her?
That was pretty much all it was just like, and thanked her for taking a picture. We didn't really get to have a whole lot of conversation because everybody's trying to get to
her. Right.
And, some of the principal actors like Merle and Lamont and Deborah Joy, they got a chance to actually have conversations because they were, a lot of them were in scenes together, and those people who were actually based in Atlanta during the episode, they had a lot more opportunity to talk. And that, "Well, did you get a chance to talk to Miss O?" And I was like, "No, I didn't get a chance to."
Not that much, right. You're trying to do it, and you got that picture though, right?
I got that picture though, yeah.
That's all that matters, because Yeah. And then let me ask you this, because I got to ask again for my audience that's watching, all the amazing audience that's watching. What did the association to being attached to Oprah Winfrey do for you and your career after the fact? What was the aftermath of that?
Well, honestly, as far as the industry, industry-wise, not much. I thought that, it's like, "Oh, here I am, and there's going to be a whole lot of stuff happening. I'm going to start getting all these offers and all this happening." And that didn't really happen. So I was like, okay. But
that's interesting, because I would have thought too that it would be some energy from that. But do you think it was because it was such a controversial type of role?
No, I don't think it was that. It's just like you just never know what's going on behind the scenes. It's like what your agent is able to get you into.
Right. I got you.
A lot of times, because that's a whole thing of just like, your agent could be pitching you for this, and if somebody's like, yeah, especially for people who may not know the show, they're like, "I don't know what that is," and so they don't know me. But as far as fan reaction and name recognition of that, that was huge. That was
right.
you know, as far as getting, you know, the interviews and the red carpets and invitations to this and being asked to, you know, present at award shows and that kind of stuff, that has been hugely rewarding. I mean, it was funny going through like the airport, you know, after Carlton got fired.
Yes.
And it would be so funny because I'd be coming through TSA, you know, and the TSA agent was like, they did you wrong. You need to sue them.
So people are really into that character and stuff.
Yeah.
You get the reaction from
Yes.
people really being into those characters. And let me tell you, that show was so good. It was like my new age drama that I was tuning into, and I was watching all the different characters and waiting to see what they were going to do. When she got pregnant with the twins, because I'm a mother of twins, all of that was just like, and you mean to tell me he was looking at another man too? Like, it was like, dang, this is crazy. It was good, bro.
Well, you know, and it's a funny thing about it. I mean, it was so, and there was sometimes that I wish that they'd have gone different directions with Kevin and his sexuality and
right,
because because in real life there are a lot of couples who either the husband or the wife is bisexual or whatever, and a lot of times those couples work it out. Like, that doesn't mean that you're a cheater. You know, people always think that people are automatically, oh, you're a cheater. And it's like, no. So aren't you still, just because you got married, aren't you still attracted to other women or other men? Do you just go run off with them? The same is true for bisexual people. You know, it's like, if I'm loving and committed, and that's our agreement, you know, because I know there are a lot of non-monogamous couples out there as well. Let's keep it real.
Exactly.
If your agreement is to be monogamous, then that person is attracted to is irrelevant. And I would have loved to have seen them show that, because whatever Kevin's faults were and his attractions were, he never acted on it until he and Charity split up. That was acted on.
But he was leading that just drugged me. I'm saying it drugged me in some more, because I was like, "Ooh, what is he doing?" Yes. Like, it was. I was talking to the TV. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I laugh about it is because everybody was just like, "Oh, Carlton knows Kevin is gay. Carlton knows Kevin is gay." It's like, it's because, you know, we know that gaydar, and I'm like, Carlton doesn't know Kevin is gay. Carlton never pays attention to Kevin.
Right.
It is like, it was, I would laugh because I would see it so much. Whenever Carlton and Charity got together, it was all about the two of them. They were BFF. And, you know, Kevin barely got a hello. You know, it's
right. Yeah, when they saw each other, it was like,
it was
my attention is all on you. Forget everybody else. Right. The world is not even here right now.
Right.
It's just me and you. Yeah.
That was what it was. And, you know, you would see, because Kevin sometimes would be like, he just ran off with my wife again.
Right. He had to find something to do.
Right. Right. And people used to make this, you know, they used to joke even on the stage, like, yeah, watch Carlton and Kevin end up together. And I said, no, absolutely not. I said, don't even joke about that. I said, one, Kevin, I don't think would ever do that to Charity, and Carlton would never do that to his best friend. Would never.
So look at you rewriting the script.
You know, just like, I
love it. And I love it.
And I didn't want to play something that portrayed gay men as being homewreckers and going in and trying to steal some woman's man. I really didn't want to.
You didn't want to be a part of anything like that. Right. No. So I wanted to ask, this is kind of controversial, but I want to go ahead and address it. And I pray that it's not going too deep. You are married. And you are openly gay as well in real life, and married to a male.
A beautiful black man, yes.
So good. We got that out the bag. We got that out the cat out the bag. We got that out. What type of judgment do you guys deal with in real life concerning being in a openly gay marriage and relationship?
We haven't had any issues. I mean, like most of the people in our building, you know, they know that we're a couple. It's funny, some of the neighbors, like one of our neighbors across the, the way. He's like, yeah, I always see you and that guy that's always with you. And I'm like,
That guy that's always with you. Oh goodness.
you know, I was like, I see you and you know, you and your roommate. And I was like, whatever you need. Okay. And it's
Right, right.
always this war. Do I go like, you mean my husband? You mean my husband?
Right. Let me just go on and break it down and let you know where we at.
Right. Right. You know,
And
he's like,
listen, I learned to not be judgmental, you know, just toward people and their preferences or what they decide to do. I kind of learned that many years ago, because I feel like love is love, and where you find it at.
Yeah. Yeah. I've said that same thing, you know, because it's a whole thing. It's like, I think that's what changed the whole debate around marriage equality is when people making it just about the sex and how people have sex. Like, well, no, there's love that is involved in here. It's not who I can have sex with. That's a small part of the picture.
Exactly.
You know?
And they don't understand the fact that it's harder.
Yeah.
To be in a position like that. It's not the easiest choice to make in life. Like you are making a choice that you know that you're going against the grain. You know and understand that there is already pressure, drama, eyes, judgment, like all of that stuff. No one wants to just choose a life.
Right. And that's, you know, that's one thing that always, when I'm always careful about using the word choice. And I know what you mean. Because it's, oh, you know, you chose it. Like, no. I didn't choose my sexual orientation. What I chose was to accept it and love myself.
Yes, yes, in spite of what.
Yeah, I chose me. I chose what my spirit was telling me, because I again, when I was, you know, in college and stuff, and you know, and friends were like, well, you know, well, have you ever had sex with a girl before? And I was like, no, I haven't had sex with. I've had girlfriends, you know, but we never got that. You know. I was like, well, how do you know? How do you know? So I went out with this young lady. Hi, Kelly. Yeah. They was all like,
he naming names. He naming names.
And you know, and our friends, you know, they all knew that I was gay, and so that was the whole thing. So we got together. We had this relationship, and it was, you know, sexual and all that good stuff. And I'm like, yes, I'm capable of having sex with a woman, but it's just that's. I want. That's not
your preference. That's not your preference.
Yeah, it's kind of like.
I want to talk about something else controversial about you. You always naked on social media, Mister. So look, I am grateful that you are feeling real good about where you at. You are very confident. I was like, this guy, my co-gay brother over here, naked again. My husband's like, listen, I can't be looking at this guy's profile. I said, baby, that don't make you gay, but still, you know, it's just hilarious. What do you be thinking about when you like decide to do these real, like, you know, outlandish pictures and social media posts?
You know, because I was just like, this is how my whole nudity adventure started. I posted about it, and it all started when I did the movie Amistad.
Okay.
My husband and I were both extras on Amistad, and that was my first foray into, you know, public nudity or anything like that. And it's like, you know, us and like 200 something other naked Black folks running around, and so that was kind of like, you know, we're in there and everybody has their robes on and we're getting ready to rehearse the scene. It's like, all right, everybody, we're at that time. It's time to disrobe.
It's time.
You know, you take your robes off, and especially for a little Black gay boy, I'm just like, I'm not used to being naked around women.
Right.
So this is the first time in a mixed environment, men and women, we're all getting naked, and we go up on the show, and you know, so everybody's getting an eye full of everything. And that was a start. And I was like,
and then you making those subliminal notes. Nice. That's not bad.
I got to tell you about that. Put that on. You hold on that. Speaking of, the interesting thing.
And then you go home and you get with your partner a little more intensely because it's like I gotta let off a little steam at the end of this set.
Well, this is the funny thing. So,
That is so funny.
gay men are used to seeing and like keeping everything. It's like, don't react, just store that in.
Right.
But a couple of the straight guys, weren't, you're not used to being around just these naked women and having to keep, straight men never have to keep their reaction to women.
Right. They have solid connection to, what they see, attraction.
Right. Able to do it. And I know at least one of the guys got very excited to see the women.
Right.
And things. And he was very embarrassed because he got an erection on set, and I believe he left set and never came back.
Wow, that was it for that gig.
He was like, I can't come back here. Everybody's, But that started the journey into, because it's a very liberating thing. Like, it's like I'm here and I'm not,
This is not so bad. Yeah, this is not so bad.
And from that point on, I started, going to the nude beach and nude resorts.
Right.
Because
I almost saw a couple of pubes on one of them. I was like, ooh, Parnell, you almost. Ooh, I know what it
I'm saving those for my OnlyFans page.
Right. But what I love about you is that you embrace life and you are who you are, and you are a matter of fact about that.
Yeah. Life is too short.
For some people, they live and exist in this world in their head, and they're always like constantly, oh, should I do this? Should I do that? Or they toy back and forth, and they have all these self-esteem issues, and it's kind of hard, sometimes. But what I love about you, you're very liberating and freeing, and you let it be known that this is me, and that's it. And I love that about you. I've loved that from day one about you.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying?
It's a thing that I had to learn, because I realized that I was, I'm not free of wondering what other people think about it. But you make a conscious choice, like, you know what, this is my life, and it's not my responsibility to make other people comfortable with my life.
There you go.
I'm the one that's happy with it. And, like, I look at stuff, like how the way people are, wearing their hair and, with the coloring and the mohawks. And I'm like, man, I wish I would have done that when I had hair. But it was this thing of like, I didn't want to stand out. I didn't want to be, quote unquote, identifiably gay.
Right.
Stuff. And now I got my little sparkly, I need to redo them again. I got my little sparkly nail polish that I put on this hand.
Okay, look. I just love you. I love you, hands down. You have always been just so amazing. And you and I have known each other. Now I can let the cat out of the bag. I didn't want to tell everybody that I actually know you.
Right.
But we've been knowing each other at least 4 or 5 years now.
4 or 5 years, because we met the first season of Greenleaf. Yeah.
At least. So this has been amazing. I love you. I think the last time I spoke to you, I was on the freeway in LA or something driving, and you reached out to me. Hey, Colgate says you be checking on me, and people don't know when you embrace a friend. You really embrace them, and you are a true, genuine friendship. I want to thank Nina Womack for introducing us.
Thank you, Nina.
She was the one, that introduced us, because we had a common radio show at the time about health and wellness, and you were a special guest on that show. And when I met you, it was like, this is my buddy.
Yes, exactly. Absolutely. Because it's not, it's not everybody that you meet and exchange phone numbers, because it's like,
true.
I know you like that.
Let me check them out a little bit,
Right.
And we got to be careful too. You can't just do that with everybody. You know what I'm saying? You got to check people out. Because this business is, there are people grabbing at you from all different types of directions.
Yeah. And
you know what I mean?
And it's interesting because I joke about I'm famous, and I'm more famous than I was, but I'm also very realistic about
Right.
where I fall on the list of celebrity. I'm like going, well, yeah, there's me, and then there's, like Denzel and
Famous. You like I'm keeping it real with myself. I know where I stand. I know where I stand.
I know where I am on the freeway. I don't
But
want.
just understand also that there are people that look up to you because they're not quite on your level yet either.
Yes, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They haven't even reached the pinnacle of, being booked on a TV series that's nationally known all over the world.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm telling you, that character you played, I just loved it. I love the energy. You were singing. You were like, I just, and I love music and I love entertainment, and you brought the dog crap out of that. You played the dog crap out of that character. I'm just saying.
A lot of my friends say, this role is perfect. It's you. And so that's who you are. You are.
Yep.
And I'm always like, I said, yeah, I guess, but no, Carlton's nicer than I am.
Right. Okay, look, keep it real.
I'm a nice person, but I will cuss you out.
Okay, look. And don't be surprised. And that's that human side that people don't expect. Right. They don't expect you when you are, seen on television like that you're human.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And you feel, you bleed like everybody else. You got to put your pants on one leg at a time. Everything about you. That's why I can relate to celebrities and I can sit amongst someone like you and understand how to even interview you. Because it's really more the human side of you first.
Right.
And Absolutely. Then we work our way out.
Yeah. Well, that's what I know. The difference between, people who can separate what they do from who they are.
Right.
Because I have met, some big names. See, I got my Dream Girls poster back there. And
Dream Girls.
I have met all the original Dream Girls, have worked with Dream Girls, and they are so fun and so kind. And there's the public persona of like, I'm a Dream Girl, but then there's the real Cheryl, the real Loretta, the real Jennifer, who laughs and are kind.
Oh, Jennifer Holiday, you met her?
Yeah. I did Dream Girls with Jennifer in Atlanta for, I think it was the 25th anniversary of Dream Girls. That was the first time I met her. And then the 35th anniversary of, what was that, 4 years ago, I think?
Yeah.
And I got to, I was in the background vocalist for them for that concert. And I'm just like, I'm on stage with Dream Girls. And my boss, Miss Mary Wilson, she made an appearance in the concert as well. So I'm like, it was full circle. So I'm like, I'm here with Mary.
You had a lot going on. Your head was spinning that day.
It was great. Yeah, because I've sung with Mary for 27 years. Going on 20 years. So we've been.
See, these are the things that people don't know. That like that. Okay, the role of on Greenleaf, that's the pinnacle, but it's not. It ain't everything. You've been around. Yeah. For quite some time.
Long time. I tell people it took me 28 years to become an overnight success.
That's the same way I'm starting to feel. Because I've been in the industry of journaling and journalism for over 20 years. I just got the biggest surprise this morning of one of the biggest up and coming guests I have had in a long time. Okay. That might be a career changer. Okay. Hey. Right. And I'm crossing my fingers because I kind of need this. I kind of need this one. I need this one to solidify and seal the deal of what God has been doing already for 20 some years. But I've interviewed Taraji. I've interviewed Bushwick Bill and Teddy Riley and all these greats, Dana Dane, and the list goes on, and Flavor Flav, and like so many, SWV now, Salt and Pepper, like the list goes on and on and on and on and on. But like you said, it's that one solid interview that's gonna take you over the top.
Because people,
That's that one thing.
and they're like, oh, she got so and so. Well, hold on, let me look at you differently now. Because if you're pulling that level, then because they don't just interview with anybody.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
People
Yeah. And you even coming on here.
uh,
Okay. Don't sleep on the Queen G Live Experience show, because you never know who's gonna be in this seat on the other end and who I'll be talking to. You know what I mean?
oh, I see
And
this
I'm
comment.
just so grateful that you accepted the call. I want to
Sure.
read some of these comments. Let's read some of these comments.
See, just
Lester Green says, "Let's go, Shantae. Have a great show. I'm tuning in.
thanks, Lester.
Nas is in the house. Go, Shantae. Okay.
Go, Shante.
Shamika says, yes.
Down.
Aw.
Londi.
Yes, use your platform to do what you love. That's the comment in regards to what you were talking about.
Awesome.
Yes. We got them yeses coming.
Yes.
Just B, who is also a podcast host, he says he has the Just B show. Oh, wow. I've watched him plenty of times. Great job, Queen.
All right.
I'm enjoying this. So inspired. That is Beast Mode Entertainment, LLC. And Just B also says, Just Be best self, brother. I'm proud of you. That's a comment to you.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
Yes.
All right. Just be your best self.
Yes.
Just be your best self. I see what you did there.
Yeah, he's combining. He's combining. And I got some other things for you too.
Oh.
And let's leak the cat out of the bag.
Uh-oh.
Let's tell everybody. You're gonna be in my new cinema edition of Let's Go to Work ENT magazine.
Yeah.
So y'all listen. I keep telling you, don't sleep now. I'm still looking for actors and people that might want to feature in this magazine. So reach out to your friends, Parnell, and tell them about me. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely will. Absolutely.
Where can we find you on social media? I want to know too, even before that, let's end with that. Okay, let's end with where we can find you on social media. I want to know the big lesson of 2020 that you learned.
Woo! The big lesson is, I guess, really take time for yourself. That is I think, take time for yourself, because I mean, so much has gone on this year. And
right.
I was talking to my best friend, and we were talking like, God, I seem to cry at everything. Everything has made me so emotional. You watch a commercial and you're crying, you see something and it's just tears start going. And it's like,
right.
We have just been under a barrage of assault, whether it's with the police brutality with Black men and women being killed by the police or being abused by the cops, and then with coronavirus happening and all this stuff. And it's just taken such an emotional toll on everyone. Yeah. It's like, you have to take a moment to turn the television off. I don't want to hear anything else that the clown has to say. I can't watch it.
Right, the clown. I know you talking about. Woo, goodness.
It's like, you have to take that time to just like, you know what? I just need to shut everything down for a moment and take care of self, meditate, exercise, whatever it is that you need to do to calm yourself. Because I was feeling myself, and I always felt like I was.
And it's anxiety from the.
Exactly. It's like, breathe.
Yes.
Breathe.
Woosah.
Yeah, exactly. Woosah. I think that is the most important thing, is like, take care of yourself.
Yes.
There'll be plenty of time to worry about how the bill is going to be paid. There'll be plenty of time to worry about all. Take a minute, 5 minutes, whatever it is that you need to just really breathe, relax, contact friends and family, check on each other. Take care of yourself and each other. That's the whole thing. Like, if somebody comes in my mind, I'll text or I'll call. Like, you know what? I was going to text you, but I wanted to hear your voice.
Yes.
I wanted to hear your voice. How are you?
Right. That's so true.
Thank you for thinking about me. It's like, of course, I think about you all the time, but I realize we need to talk more than we post on social media, more than we text. I need to hear your voice. I need to get on.
Right. I need to see you in some way or the other.
Yeah.
Like let's shut this down and make this happen. Let's connect.
Yeah.
And 2020 has been definitely a year of connecting more with people and others. For me, I'm gonna tell you my lesson.
What's your lesson?
My lesson for this year, it was kind of like a couple of them, right? Get out of my own way.
Mm-hmm.
And what I mean, all the thoughts, the ideas, the old trashy ways, like get all of that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It was a mirror reflection year about how to get me together and understand also that I am vital to others. So before I can impact the world and get on here and do what I do, I have to put me together.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever that requires. Sometimes that might require a nap. Sometimes that might require that you shut out all distractions and just, like you were saying, shut it down. Sometimes that it might require different things. Don't be around negative energy, even just for the sake of their position in your life.
Yep.
That was another lesson that I learned in 2020. And my other lesson was put your mark on the world in 2020. Digitize everything, get your business on point, brand yourself, market yourself. That's what I did all year. I wrote 12 books this year.
Girl, 12.
Right? So it's like if we go sit here and not get on the airplane travel, none of that, I'm gonna make some use out of this time and really pour into what I need to do to make my mark on the world.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You know, and then the third thing was I got a chance to travel and spend quality time with my family. We got a chance to get out of here and go to see the world of Mississippi, you know, St. Louis. We went to Louisiana and I went to Chicago, and we've been traveling with us.
You got people in St. Louis?
Yes, that's my hometown. That's why.
That's right. We talked about it. Both my parents are from East St. Louis.
Right on the other side of the bridge.
Yeah. So I still have family on both sides in that, you know, Illinois, Missouri area over there.
When have you been? When was the last time you went?
Ooh, oh gosh, I was there a few years ago. Like I was there with Mary. We've done a couple of concerts in the area. But it's
wow.
My sister,
you gotta go again, right? And just kind of like check in.
We did a family Zoom for Thanksgiving.
Oh, okay. That was nice. Yeah.
That was kind of cool to see everybody and just like, hey. And what we realize is that our generation has not done as great with making the next generation of cousins know each other. Because when we were kids, always came out to East St. Louis to visit the family. And then the family in St. Louis always made sure that the cousins came out to Denver to spend time with us. And we just realized, we haven't done as good a job as making sure that our kids know each other. You know?
Because you in St. Louis, you liable to you better be careful who you dating. Because it might be your cousin.
Might be your cousin. Like, hold on, let's do the answer.
You know what I'm talking about, right, Parnell? When you from there, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Right.
Whoa, everybody is close knit. They hear you coming before you come because the rumor didn't spread through the city. You know, it's just certain things. And St. Louis is the show me state. So we all are showmen and show women.
Right.
You know, it's so many singers and performers and dancers and entertainers. My dad started this ball for us in our household of entertainment. So it's like, you know, my auntie sang, my grandparents sang, like everybody, you know, it's a trip.
It's so funny. I remember when I was a kid, my cousin, we were talking about this the other day, because I remember when I was a kid, and one of our cousins was in that group, Phase O. You know, I'm riding high. I was like going, because otherwise I didn't really know. Like a couple of my cousins played instruments, but I didn't really know of anybody else who really sang or danced and stuff. You know, so it's like I'm the only one.
You're the only one. What did they say when you landed the role on Greenleaf and stuff?
Oh, they were so happy, been so supportive. And they're just like, my cousin Vanessa, I stayed with her and her husband Carl when I lived here. And, at first she thought I was just like with my head in the clouds, just like dreaming.
Right. Oh, goodness.
And she said,
you're so opposite of that. You're so opposite of that.
Well, you're young and I mean, I guess I was a little bit more thinking like, oh, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. And, that's the one thing I really like. You have to work your ass off to make it happen. It doesn't. It's rare that it just falls in your lap. So that was So, but she, she's like, yeah, I remember thinking that, oh, he used your head in the clouds. So thank you. I'm so proud of you. Thank you for proving me wrong.
Right.
Because I did, between, singing with Mary Wilson, singing with Thelma Houston, singing with Shirley Roth and Jennifer Hudson. Sorry, Jennifer. And Oba Babatunde, I see Oba all the time when we cross paths, and he's, again, always so humble. And that man is on 9 different damn televisions. So I'm like, dang, Oba, can I get
right? Like you on that level, like that's that level you was talking about.
Yeah, right. I just want to get out there, but he'll see me and he'll be like, hey, what's up, superstar? And I'm like, hey, legend.
Right. What do you talk about? What you have coming out like in the near future? That's
Well, my caroling group that I sing with, the Yule Tones, we're going to be featured on the 2nd season of the Christmas Caroler Challenge coming up on the CW on this Friday. So we're going to be on.
Y'all tune in. Everybody's watching. Tune in. CW this Friday. Yes. What is it called? The Caroling Challenge?
The Christmas Caroler Challenge.
Oh, wow.
I just saw that they started promoting it, so I'm like, okay, I can talk about it now.
You can let it out the bag now. And that's a trip too. Some stuff you can't really tell until it's time and solidified. And you kind of learn to be really confidential in this business, kind of, and use that tactic because it's like it will destroy everything if you let the cat out the bag too early. Yes. You know what I'm
saying? And I'm working on a short film with my good friend Stephen Littles. Stephen is one of my friends who always calls me in when he's doing a project. He's like, hey, I got this film. I want you to play this role. I'm like, okay.
Right. And certain people you can trust and flow with because they're gonna be and have good intentions every time.
Exactly.
And that's where relationships come into play.
Thank you, Robbie. Yeah. And Stephen was my publicist. That Stephen was how I got on the Healthy LA thing and met you.
Okay.
Yeah. So he always will, even after he got out of the whole publicist game, he was still like, oh, hey, I got you this thing, coming up. I'm like, thank you.
He just has that right fit for you that makes sense and that works. You know what I mean? And so same here. We got some future things.
Yes, we do.
We got in the works, Mr. Colgate brother. I can't wait to, now that I got these positions and platforms, I don't forget people. I'm just like, yes, that's my brother. Like,
exactly.
I mean, whatever I got access to, you got that. You got access to.
I'm like, hey, call Shantae. Go on her show. I'm like, Shantae, I got for you.
Exactly. Anything you want to let out the bag to anytime, if you want to talk about something, just hit me up. Or if you want to, introduce anybody to me that is in your circle that might need a platform too, just hit me up. You have that direct connect with me where you can pretty much book whoever. Yes. It's just all a matter of scheduling. You know what I mean? That's just it. Yeah. The heart of the and this. That is us. Well, I'm gonna let you get off of here and get into the rest of your day. Get those pictures to me, mister.
Yes, ma'am. Well, okay. And I'll actually have some clothes on in some of them.
Thank you. I appreciate that because I don't want, I don't want to run.
Tell your husband. I said, that's my sister.
Right. Exactly. He know what's up. He just be like, hold on, I got
Listen. My brother says the same thing. He's like, bruh.
Right.
I can't keep opening up Instagram and seeing your ass.
Right. Like people be joking about me making love to my brother's music. You know, it's like, come on now. No, I can't do that. I'm sorry.
Right.
I just,
It's kind of like your brother, like, what you doing?
right. It's just, it's interesting, right? But
Well, you know, okay, I know we keep saying we're gonna shut up, but like when my sister was pregnant with my nephew, her first child, it's like, yeah, we're pregnant, we have a baby. I was like, ooh, I'm gonna tell mommy you've been doing it.
I'm doing it. Yeah, yeah. It's that kind of stuff. And when you have siblings, it's like, ooh, you know,
Right.
it's just awkward moments because, you know, and I deal with that with my kids too. Now the girls, they're getting of age where they're telling them, get out. You know, telling my son to get out. I got to get dressed. Get out.
Right.
They're at that point, so it's kind of cute to see them interact with each other. He's 13. They you know, starting to do their thing naturally. You know what I mean? Maturing. So it's a trip. It's a trip, and I just absolutely love you.
I love you right back. Yes.
I want you to know that. Give us your social media sites.
Oh yes.
We're gonna get off of here and
because I know we done gone over time. I'm like, well, that's what happened.
Oh no, it's all good. It's all good. I'm not tripping.
We get to talking and laughing and be like, y'all don't have to stay, but me and Shantae gonna keep talking.
Right, we gonna keep going and this because this ain't about TV. This ain't about TV. This is us.
and not being able to see your face in so long. So this is like, yeah.
I know, right? We're catching up in front of the world, basically.
Yes.
We're catching up in front of the world.
Sitting on top of the world. Okay.
Right.
Okay. Social media. Twitter is at that Parnell guy. Instagram is PD Marcano. PD MARCANO. Or if you type in Parnell, it'll start popping up. And Facebook Parnell Damone Marcano. The Actor's Life. Yes.
Yes. I was like, accept my request. What you doing? You know, I be messing with you. Right. I be messing with you.
And I had to go. I was like, where is it? Where is it? Oh, there she is.
Right. You know how it is. We listen. Yes. Whether we smiling, Colgate brother and sister, or whether you're just my pure friend, you're a humble person. I wanted the world to see your spirit as it really is. And I just want you to know you have a lot of fans out there based on my podcast today. You know what I mean? You got a lot of people that love you and, you know, keep up the good work.
Thank you so much.
And whatever you do, finish these last 20-something days in a year strong.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
You know?
Yeah. And thank you so much again, Shantae. I love you so much. I appreciate you.
Oh my God. Thank you. Like you know, the love is mutual.
Yes.
Well, you get in your day and we'll keep, you know, continue being in touch with one another. We got some things to do. So
we got things to do.
You know, I got your text on lock and we go get it going, okay?
Okay, baby. Much love to you. Love you.
Talk to you later. Bye. Oh my God. Y'all saw it here, Mr. Parnell. He was amazing. You got to hear his version of his career, what happened, the journey, talk to him, hear what his preference is in a relationship personally. All of that stuff. You heard it here for the first time. The real him, Mr. Parnell. I love him dearly. That is my friend. Y'all, listen, keep tuning into these shows. Share this out to as many people as you can. Thank you for keeping me inspired by watching my shows. And I appreciate you all for your support, okay? This is your girl, Queen G of Queen G Live Experience. I'm checking out, y'all. See y'all later. Peace.